Siddhartha arrived at Bodh Gaya. Here his torment would end. He sat down beneath a tree and vowed not to leave until he had reached enlightenment. Flesh may decay, bones may fall apart, but I will never leave this place until I find the way to enlightenment.
He's no longer giving himself a hard time, he's not stressing himself unbearably, he's not undergoing anything painful. He thinks, well, life is painful enough without taking the trouble to make it more painful, but let me just calmly think things out, think of how life works.
He starts to focus the mind by attention to the slow movement of the breath coming in and going out, and to the refined sensation which exists in the body, perhaps just around the nose, in a way which starts to lead to the mind quietening, stilling, settling, gathering, purifying.
Siddhartha's mind was now so focused that he could successfully enter the darkest reaches of his unconscious. It was now that he would face his final and greatest torment. The demon Mara, the lord of ego and illusion, appeared before him. He could make any horror real in Siddhartha's mind.
It's very important to remember that Mara, this demon king, is not like the Christian Satan, because he isn't a tempter and he isn't any kind of counterpart to God. He is purely psychological, the psychological forces which we have within us.
Mara unleashed an army of demons to attack Siddhartha. They fired flaming arrows at him. But mid-flight, Siddhartha turned them into lotus blossoms, and they fell harmlessly around him. Having failed, Mara then tried to seduce Siddhartha with his tempting daughters.
He is assailed by the demon king, who is at the same time death and desire. Very Freudian, that, in a way. Desire is death, death is desire. And in fact, the demon king offers him his 3 daughters, who are both passion or lust and aversion, which is equally bad. If you shy away from it and say, no, that's absolutely disgusting, you're also a slave to passion. And he can be completely calm and indifferent and just gaze at them without any feelings of attraction or repulsion.
The faces of Mara's daughters began to rot before Siddhartha's eyes. The evil daughters then disappeared into the earth.
It is, in fact, you could say, the Buddha's very recognition that Mara is an aspect of himself. The total recognition of that is his enlightenment.
The earth is said to have trembled as he dispelled the devil. Siddhartha, now aged 35, passed through 4 jhanas to reach enlightenment and become the Buddha, or awakened one. He then spent 7 days beneath a tree in a meditative state of absolute bliss.
This is seen as a state where the mind is incredibly refined and sensitive. An image might be of a lake which is totally still, which would register even an insect on the surface. So this is seen as a state where the mind is very, very powerful as an instrument of knowledge, very sensitive.
In this highly attuned state, the Buddha saw a way to escape the inevitable cycle of old age, sickness, and death. He realized that if we remove desire, we can remove dissatisfaction and suffering from our lives.
A key cause of the painfulness and frustration of life is craving, kind of demanding desires. So there's a general mismatch between how you want things to be and how they actually are.
The insight the Buddha attained beneath the tree was the birth of Buddhism, a religion followed today by 400 million people. The Buddha summed up his wisdom in 4 noble truths, which are the foundation of all Buddhist beliefs. The first noble truth recognized that there is suffering in life. The second diagnosed the cause of that suffering, desire. In the third truth, like a doctor, the Buddha revealed that there was a cure for desire. And in the fourth noble truth, he gave the prescription, how to cure the illness and achieve enlightenment or nirvana.
The ultimate aim was to reach a state of mind completely free of craving, ignorance, greed, hatred and delusion, thereby free of all the causes of future rebirth. When an enlightened person dies, they're seen as going beyond rebirth, to a state beyond, if you like, space and time, and not coming back. So that's seen as a state of liberation.
The Buddha would further teach that morality, meditation, and wisdom were the stepping stones to enlightenment. He would dedicate the rest of his life helping others to follow this path, towards freedom from suffering.